Hello everyone, so welcome you all to another episode of Living by Faith series where we are discussing and throwing some light and trying to have a better understanding of how faith works in our life, and it helps to have a better life, or I would say there would be no life if you don't have faith. But that is onto a next stage to come upon, because there may be so many people out there who say that yes, I'm living my life very comfortably even though I don't believe. But that is what I am sitting here and trying to tell you, that yes, you believe, and that is the only reason which is making you live your life today. And moving on, so the last episode we talked about the story of Morris Goodman, and that story actually helped us in understanding the concept of working faith. You have it so strongly fitted into your mind, and you day night think upon it, dwell upon it, and you let not disturb your mind or let not get distracted from any other thought which tries to take you back. So that is the concept of working faith. Now today I am again going to discuss two more stories with you, one which is relating to the crisis of faith, and second which is relating to the power of faith. These two stories will help us more in understanding of not what faith is. As I already mentioned, it's a kind of a lifestyle which you have adopted in your life, and knowingly, unknowingly, you all have it. It is a kind of way we want to live our life. But these two stories will inspire or motivate and convince you, if not up till now, to have faith and to believe into it. Okay, so the first story which I took up, it is from an American sitcom television drama series called Young Sheldon. And the plot of this drama is all about or revolving around a 9-year-old boy who is very fond of space, science, rockets, physics and all that sort of stuff. But when it comes to faith, God, believing, practicing, preaching, he negates the very existence of God and faith. He never believes into any of it. But on contrary, his mother, named Mary in the particular sitcom, she is staunch and steadfast believer of Jesus. She believes into God. She regularly and positively attends church meetings, functions, everything. Now one day what happens into this particular episode of the sitcom series I'm discussing, Mary gets a call, and on that she gets the news of the death of a 16-year-old daughter of one of her friend because of the car accident, which puts Mary into a situation of questioning her own faith in God and what about God's plan, because she cannot believe that is this also a part of God's plan, the death of 16-year-old child, which she could not accept. And after a while she stops her daily going to the church. She stopped saying grace whenever she used to eat food, and also she went into that reckless and carefree attitude of life. She was not paying attention to anything what she was doing. She was indulging into sinful activities which earlier she was always avoiding it. That seeing her mother's situation and seeing that her mother is not in her normal regime, this disturbs Sheldon, and he could not take it for a long period of time. He is little disturbed that a lady who believes into something, and I have always seen her practicing and believing into God day and night, what has happened to that lady? So he takes the situation, and one day when his mother is sitting outside, he goes to her and asks her that I am here to just ask two questions to you, and let me help you to come out of the situation. So I've written them. So he asked two questions, and I tell you, these are the most wonderful questions. Even when I was watching it, it took me for a while, because I was myself even getting into the answers of those questions. One was very scientific and one was very emotional. So the first question he asked his mother: what are the odds that gravitation force in this universe is so precise that everything holds up and do not fly apart or falls down? To which the mother replies, Are you trying to me convince? Are you trying? Sorry, are you trying to convince me that God exists? Because if you're doing so, why are you even asking when you don't believe in God? So don't ask me this question. Then he molds his question and asks his other way around. Okay, tell me then, what are the odds that 7.87 billion people are on this planet, but you are the perfect mother for me? What answer do you have for this question? Now, on listening to the second question, that what are the odds that out of almost 6 to 7 approximate people present on this planet, what are the odds that you are the perfect mother for me? To which she hugs Sheldon and she tears comes out, and then she finally thanks Lord, that thank you Lord for blessing me with this wonderful boy who has brought me back to you, who has helped me to regain my belief. Now many people see, when I first watched this, it was a very fresh perspective for me even to think, what if I was born or landed up to some other lady than my sweet, sweet, darling mother? What could have happened to me? Just imagine. But it was all God's plan that I am today in my mother's house. I was born to my mother. So she might have understood that at that particular time, that everything is God's plan. But still, whenever such situations, such a predicament happen to us in life, we question our faith, we question our belief into God, and we question his plan, that is this can be the part of God's plan, something so I'm not even fine, something, a situation so gross, a situation so negative, a situation so heartbreaking and totally unacceptable, how that sort of situation could be a part of God's plan, and that lead us to question our faith. But when I question myself like this, what if everything in this universe was not into this gravitation force which we are acting upon today, or which is acting upon us today? Everything would have been banging onto each other. But imagine our childhood science projects. Have you glued those planets and orbits and Sun, Neptune, Pluto together? We have, right? Exactly like that, universe has been glued and sticking everything together. If it is not a creator, then who? That is what she, when he asks her these two questions, she questions him back. Why you trying to convince me, Sheldon, when you yourself don't believe into God? Then he says, only because I am stating a fact that there is a creator and you are my mom. Imagine that creator. I've already said this before in previous episode. He goes by multiple names. You can give him whatever name suits you or comforts you, but you have to accept that there is a creator, there is a person, there is a guy up there, down there, don't know, but there is a guy above everybody else present here, who takes care of everything, who has a plan ready for us, who has decided what will become of us, who has a purpose of us in our life, and who just like puppets, who guides us, who takes us, who makes us, and who has sorted everything for us today. On that note, I'm just going to provide also one verse from Bhagwat Gita which applies to this situation what we are discussing today. I may not be good at it, the pronunciation and all, but still. Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tav charjana tanyaham ved sarvani na tvam vetat parantapa. So it says, the personality of Godhead said, many, many births, both you and I have passed. I can remember all of them, but you cannot, O subduer of the enemy. So this Krishna Bhagavan is telling Arjun that many, many births, both Krishna Bhagwan and Arjun have passed, but Krishna remembers all of them, but Arjun, you don't. That doesn't mean that many births have not come in between both of us. It is that I remember every plan. I remember what were all your past and present and future activities and births, but you don't remember anything except the present life you are living into. So leave everything to me, believe into me, and I know everything what is there to come in your life. Rest assured, it will be good, it will be more than good, but just hold your belief into me. There are 3 more lines which goes like this. Advaitam achyutam anadim anantarupam adyam purana purusham navayovanam cha vedeshu durlabham adurlabham atma bhaktau govindam adipurusham tamaham bhajami. So here the Brahmaji, he is worshipping Lord Vishnu, and these are the 4 lines with which he is trying to convey his feelings and also making mankind to understand what stature Lord holds, or what is the personality of Godhead is, and to what extent we need to understand what we are, what we understand, how timid our level of thinking is, and to what great extent to what extent he has everything in his mind, he remembers everything, which is explained in these 3 lines. It means I worship, that is Brahma worships Krishna, who is the original person, Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anantarupam, who is original person, absolute, infallible, without beginning, although expanded into unlimited forms. He is same original oldest person and always appearing as fresh youth, because the line says Adyam Purana Purusham, so he is the oldest person, Purana Purusham Nava Yovanam cha, but still he is as fresh as youth, Nav Yovanam cha. Vedeshu Durlabham Adurlabham Atma Bhaktau, such eternal, blissful, all-knowing forms of the Lord. So he is eternal. We are eternal, but we don't remember. He is eternal, he always remembers. Such eternal, blissful, all-knowing forms of the Lord are usually not understood by even the best Vedic scholars, but they are always manifest to pure, unalloyed devotees or the faithful. So that's why the last 2 lines says Vedeshu durlabham adurlabham atma bhaktau govindam adipurusham tamaham bhajami. So Govind, he is the first person, he is the first person to create everything what we see today, what we are today, what will get created in the future, and what is there to happen to us in the future. It is all God's plan. On that note, I think it's already 14 minutes or something more than that, and for the second story I have to, I think, get that into the another video. But in this one thing which I learned and which I would like to conclude after the episode of Sheldon, if you want to watch it, then it's available at Amazon Prime Video. Go watch it. I don't remember exactly. I am just going to mention that in description if the link is available to provide. And on the basis of this explanation of text 5, chapter 4 of Transcendental Knowledge, chapter 4, text 5, if you try to conclude, if you try to take them together, then one thing which we can understand out of any one single moment of predicament like that of Mary in our life, it teaches us, first of all, it questions our faith, but it also brings us more closer to God. And this time when we try to understand our system of faith, all our questions are put to rest, and actually that's a blessing to all the answers of lifetime queries and doubts we have in our mind for God. So keep believing, keep having faith, because it is the faith from everything flows. Remember that. Bye.